everybody. Hello, Art 1. It's Mrs. Stepanovich's art class, and today we are going to be talking about how to use watercolors. And here I am on Halloween. All right, here we go. So, hopefully you can see everything. So first of all, you're going to need particular supplies. And in your grouping of papers, you had something that had three papers together. You had a strip of paper, a smaller paper, and a larger paper. And they're all watercolor paper, and they're paper clipped together. And then also, you're going to be using, this is for your final koi fish watercolor. This is the last watercolor paper that you have in your kit. That's the last one. If we don't return in the second semester, you're going to have to come in and get more paper. Just letting you know, all right? So those are the things you need, is that, and that's for the final one. And these ones right here. So this one right here is for practice purposes. So let's just put it over here. And what I think you should do is get a pencil, and also maybe you need to measure to make sure that this one is 11 by 7. And what you should write on there is watercolor experiment, so you know this is the right paper to use for that. And don't write it with marker, write it with pencil, and so that you know this is the paper that you're going to be using for part 1. And then here's another paper that's 7 inches by 9 inches, and you should write that down, and you should write the Blue Ridge Mountains on it. Right, and again, write it in pencil, but this way you know what paper is for what. All right, so let's put that stuff away. What else do you have? So you're going to be needing your paintbrushes, and there's also a large paintbrush that goes with that. And you're going to take them out. And so you have a large paintbrush for large areas, and then these smaller ones are for detail. You're going to be using them all. The watercolor paint is right here, and it's a 16 pack. And inside there is 16 different watercolor cakes. We call them cakes. And there's also this horrible blue paintbrush that you are not going to be using. Don't use this paintbrush. It's made, the plastic bristles do not go on well, as opposed to these that are natural bristles, all right? So this, don't use it. I can tell if you use it, because it doesn't go on very well at all. All right, so everybody has this, and so let's practice using watercolor. So you have this, your paper. Oh, other thing that you need is a container of water, about halfway full. You know, I have a yoga container. You can use any type of container at all. And you're also going to need some paper towels. Those are all very important things. So the way that you so the cakes and the watercolor set are hard. And in order to activate them, you have to add water to them. So you can go around like this and add water to everything, or you can wait and add water to it. But let's just say I'm going to take this red right here, and you have to mix it around in order to activate the hard cake, all right? It's not going to, you have to really press down, you have to make sure that the water and the solid pigment gets mixed together. So you see how I did that? And then I just practice putting it on there, all right? So this is kind of gives you a good idea of how watercolor works. Now, if I want it to be more, for a better word, watery, I would add more water. And so it doesn't go on nearly as thick. So the more water you add, the more watery it will be. It's as simple as that. Right. Another key component when you're using watercolors is every time you use another color, you have to clean your brush every time, all right? And while you're doing watercolor, there's a little bit of downtime that you have to wait for things to dry if you want to go over it. So let's say, now there's another school of thought that some people put water over here, and then they take their paint and put it over here, as you can see. But I want to make a different color. I want to mix a couple colors together. So I'd mix it over there, and then I put it on. All right. So your final is not right, the thing you do got right away. You're gonna be doing experiments and things like that in order to finally get to what your final project is. The other thing is, if you, like, I got a little bit of red inside that yellow, so I just take my paper towel and I blot it out like that, okay? So that's kind of it. There's other videos that you're going to be watching, but this one was just, I wanted to make sure that you understood that you had these particular papers that you needed in order to do it. So anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll be seeing you in a few minutes.